Okay, now we're on part 2 of lesson 13. We have a heading to put on here. You always put your heading on. First thing, name, number, date. First and last in cursive. Remember to put your date that you're working on this. It may match mine, it may not. Make sure it's the date that you're actually working on it. My number's pi. Make sure you put your number. And our subject is math. Alright, so our first problem here. Frank had 11 old video games he was wanting to get rid of. If he gave, so this is his total, gave, that tells me subtract, his friend 9 of the games, how many does he still have? So how many does he still have? Okay, so Frank gave to friend. So Frank had a total amount. I'm going to use T for total because I have Frank and friend, and I'm going to use F for friend. I do put a little tail on my T so it doesn't look like a plus sign. Frank's total, and he gave some to his friend, and we want to figure out how much he still has. How much he has. Do we know the total he had amount? Yes, that's 11. Do we know how much he gave to his friend? Yes, that's 9. So how much does he still have? So here's our equation. 11 take away 9 is 2. Now you may have been able to do that mentally. This was not supposed to be a difficult problem to solve. What we're working on is being able to make an equation with a variable. Okay, so now to answer the question, how many does he still have? Frank still has 2 video games. Complete sentence, beginning with a capital, ending with a punctuation. Does it match our question? How many does he still have? Frank still has 2 video games. Those two go together. Our next question. Amy bought 7 pencils at the school store, but she already had 3 pencils. How many pencils does she have in total? We don't know the total. That's going to tell me I'm going to be doing addition because these are unequal amounts. So we have bought plus had. That's going to give us our total. So what she bought plus what she had equals our total. She bought 7. She had 3. 7 plus 3, hopefully we can do that mentally, is 10. So how many pencils does she have in total? She has 10. Amy has 10 pencils in total. So these questions, even though they're not challenging addition or subtraction problems, what we're working on is being able to make an equation with a variable or a letter standing for an unknown number. This is what you need to make sure you have in your notes. Okay. Does our answer match our question? How many pencils does she have in total? Amy has 10 pencils in total. Yep, that works. Last one. Sam mowed his lawn. Oh, that needs an N, not law. Lawn 14 times total during the spring and summer. If he mowed it 9 times in the summer, so he mowed it 9 times in the summer, how many times did he mow it in the spring? Because this was the total in spring and summer. So we know how many in summer. How many times did he mow it in spring? Now if you notice, I didn't put a box around the word times, but because in this case it doesn't mean multiplication. So we have to be careful of those keywords, looking at the context. This is just saying he went outside and on 14 different days mowed the lawn. In the summer, so in that summertime, he went outside 9 different days. In this case, times is representing days or amounts that he went out, not multiplication. So you have to be careful of that. Okay, so summer, so the total, so the mode is summer plus spring. So our total is equal to, let's see, I'm going to use, since they have the same first letter, I'm going to use the second letter. Summer plus spring. We know the total amount that they mowed, which is 14. We know how many in summer. We're trying to find spring. So what would we add to 9 to get 14? Another way to look at this is with our inverse operation. 14 take away 9 will tell us what spring is. So the difference between 14 and 9, you can count up from 9 to 14. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's another way to get there is through addition. And there's a difference of 5. 5 and 9 make that total of 14. 9 in the summer, 5 in the spring. Sam mowed his lawn 5 times in the spring. Okay, so make sure capital at the beginning, punctuation at the end. Does it answer the question? How many times did he mow in the spring? Sam mowed his lawn 5 times in the spring. Yes, those do go together. All right, now it's time for you to practice more with making equations with variables to solve word problems. Thank you for joining me.